In tonight's Waste Watch report, the state has cut millions in grants following a KOMO news story into a lack of oversight. It's part of significant cut in spending on reports and studies that showed very little return on investment.
A lot of money was for work that did not impact most people in the state. KOMO senior reporter Chris Daniels explains.
Buried in hundreds of pages of budget documents are requests for studies and programs that very few people know about, or grants that have existed for years with very little oversight.
Does the state need to spend money on refugee skating lessons or senior independent living studies or a document management system in Battleground?
Yeah, I mean, some folks think that the answer is yes.
Yet Washington State Commerce Director Joe Nguyen acknowledges now is not the time for reports that no citizen may ever read, and Governor Bob Ferguson agrees.
What exactly did you veto in those 5 bills that you felt the state could not afford right now?
Oh, there's a whole list.
Buried in the budget announcement this month in the $9 billion in new taxes was the axe given to long-standing programs that had very little state supervision, like the Digital Navigators Program, highlighted by KOMO News, that was audited after concerns the state handed out millions of dollars without fully vetting recipients.
I think the digital divide is important, but we have to be mindful of, it's a tight budget year, and if it's not completely aligned with kind of how we want to move forward, that might not be the best spot to keep investing.
Nguyen also says the vetoes eliminated more than $8 million from his agency's budget, while simultaneously highlighting how the state spends dollars and plan to research things like a battery energy storage system or a quantum computing strategy that could be handled by the existing workforce instead of the long-standing way of doing things.
One of the frustrations that I have is these reports oftentimes will hire a consultant to do, and each one costs obviously a decent amount of money. We actually have the technical expertise and the staff to do it internally at Commerce as well.
Do you think that money was wasted here?
I think it depends, right? A lot of the investments for us to test things out. Sometimes they go well, sometimes they don't go well. So waste just depends on how you would define it.
Chris Daniels, KOMO News.
Funding for the Digital Navigators Program runs out on June 30th since it was not renewed by the governor.